Yeah, he's a nice young horse. You know, his first trial, he was a little bit all over the place, very green and what have you. But you know, I suppose that's just a young horse just settling in and just familiarising himself with the place. But his two subsequent trials have been quite nice. I like the way he hits the line. He hit the line quite well in his last trial. Look, ideally it would have been nice to have him ready to start over 12, because I think he's going to be better when he goes a bit further. But this race presented itself at a good time in his preparation. So, you know, he's drawn out a little bit low, but I think the most important thing is just getting a run into him and just getting the experience into him. But I think for a future, I think he's quite a nice horse.
You mentioned that low draw. He's also had a habit of missing the start in his trials. Will you be getting back from there?
Oh, look, if he misses the start, then I'll just be patient on him. But you know, look, if it's a typical 1,000-metre race, you know, you're on a young horse. If he misses the break, it's playing catch up anyway. So look, if he jumps well or if he doesn't jump well, he'll just sit where he's comfy. And look, I think the most important thing is let him have a good experience, and hopefully he hits the line quite well with going forward to his next run. So we just want him to have a nice experience, and you know, look, like I say, for the future, he's a nice horse.
Umberto, you rode Played on the weekend. That was a good effort at Happy Valley last time.
Yeah, definitely, yes. His horse, he always can run a decent race. Last time I wasn't surprised about his performance. His horse is improving in the time, and it depends. He's in good mood. If he's in good mood, he can run a very good race.
Two of his better runs here have been at Happy Valley. Do you think he can bring that form to Shatin?
Well, the point is, Shatin has a long straight, which I think he deserved that. So Happy Valley, it was a good effort last time, but probably the track of Shatin is going to help him a lot.
John, 3 runners in the Sprint Cup on the weekend. Start off with Mr. Stunning. He's had a couple of months between runs. How's he done in that time?
Well, the horse seems okay. He's done well. He's had a pretty tough season so far. He's held his form, and he's very honest and willing racehorse. So every day he goes to the races, he puts down a good effort. I think he's okay. His trial, last time he trialled, he seemed to trial like everything was working.
Last run, of course, was in the Centenary Sprint Cup, beaten by DB Pin. What was your take on that performance?
Well, you know, there's not much margin between the sprinting horses, the top 3 or 4. So the circumstances of the race in that particular day, he happened to get beaten, but he didn't get beaten by far. He was fighting out the finish, and I thought it was another one of his very good efforts.
Mentioned that there's not a heat between the sprinters here. With that £5 penalty that he's got under the conditions of this race, is that a concern?
Well, yeah, I mean, every ounce counts. It's always a matter of handicap, every race. That's what it's all about. But, you know, he's going to feel that at some stage. But if he gets the nice run, the handicap will probably take care of itself.
And what about Beat the Clock? Does 1,200 metres, is that a better trip for him?
It seems to be a better trip for him. He does run the 1,400, and as you saw, he ran very competitively at 1,400. But on paper, the 1,200 is a better distance for him. He probably, you know, come into the race at the latter stages, and if he arrives in time, he can win.
He must have been pleased the way that he's continued to improve this preparation and taken that step up to Group 1 level.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a year younger. He's only 4-year-old, so he's done a very good job. And if he can get away with one of these sprints at 4, it'll be a very good effort, and he'll have something to look forward to next season.
Amazing kid. Good to see him winning last time out. In his previous encounters, though, with Mr. Stunning over the season, Mr. Stunning had his measure. Do you see it unfolding again that way?
Well, he's had like 3 months between runs before his last start, in which he appreciated. It looks like he's had a much easier season than the others. So he's still got a bit of fresh legs, and he certainly just needs a little bit of luck. I think the small field suits him a lot. That'll help him a lot. He's got not many horses to negotiate to get through. So I wouldn't be surprised if he put his head in the finish.
Beauty only, Neil. You won this race 2 years ago on him. You've had a great association over the last few years with the horse. He's now a 7-year-old. Does he still have something to offer in these big races?
Yeah, I believe he does. You know, his last time top weight, and I think there was a little bit too much cushion in the track. It just didn't go his way, and you know, he had to give a lot of weight away, and it just didn't suit him. But the 2 times before that, I rode him in the Stewards Cup in the other race. he hit the line quite strong, and he had tricky gates from those 2 races, and he's kind of had to go back. I know you have to ride him quite anyway, but it's just a difference of being able to have a better draw and maybe sit him a length or a length and a half closer. And he's only been beaten like just over a length in his races, so you know they're the same type of horses he's been running against all season from the internationals. So look, he's got a little bit of a wider draw, but it's a smaller field. They won't be too far back. You know, I believe this horse still can win a Group 1, you know, in Hong Kong. So, look, he's a previous winner of it. I've had a really good association with the horse. So, look, he definitely has something in him still to win at this level. So, just hope he gets a run of the race and everything falls right. Hope we can win again.
Chris, you must have been pleased to see Bravo Watchman win last time. Do you think he's a better horse over the straight track?
I think it's seems like, you know, he's so far, you know, 1,000 looks like it's a lot better than 12. But honestly, you know, I believe, you know, he can go further. And also, you know, this time because he won on the last time, we see the time and the way he win. You know, it looks like he for this moment, I think it's more suit for him.
Leading into that race, that was his first run for 3 months. Was there any reason why you gave him a break in that time?
Yeah, because it's the horse is I suppose planning for the before last run we supposed to plan him for the in the Happy Valley race, but he got a fever at that moment. That's why, you know, I give him a break and then bring him back.
First time in Class 2 as well. Yes. For Bravo Watchman. Chris, is he a horse who's still improving, still stepping up?
I think so, because he's a big horse, and also this time he's carried a light weight. I think everything is good for him. You know, I'm not that worried, you know, because it's Class 2. But the way, you know, it seems last run is quite impressed, you know, in the last 100. Yep.